You know, the screws are shut. They are. If it goes off on a wing on Dovegate, the majority of the screws run off and lock the gate and wait for people to come. All in private prisons, the majority of the screws, they're instructed. Run off the wing and then we'll go back on. In some jails, you know, they'll go in on you. They enjoy it. But in the majority of them, mate, they've been told, just back off and go back on. Trust me, honest to God, mate. I don't know how they're able to keep all these men enclosed in this place. You know what the threat is when you're trying to break out of one of them gaffs? Is what happens when you get outside. You can burst out of one of them gaffs if you really wanted to, mate. I'm telling you. If you had the balls to, you could. And the threat then is the police presence. But at the moment there is none, is there? Have you seen how many people have escaped from prison in the last couple of years? It's weird, isn't it? I know they're only little mad ways. You know, like slipping into the back of there or slipping the handcuffs off at hospital and that. But these are lapses in security. Now, if you've got prisons with a lapse of security, which is letting people escape, that should be the number one thing in their security detail. Never ever should anyone escape. If you've got a prison where prisoners are escaping, what else do you think's going on in there? Listen, I was in Walton in 2004 and I could have paid a screw £7.5 grand. All I had to do was get myself to the hospital and he'd be my escort. That's it. That's how easy it is in Walton. Don't let them tell you anything different, mate. Honest to God. You know when you see these kids arriving at the hospital, in the Aintree Hospital from Walton Prison, and you've got 3 kids waiting with whatever and you break them out, do you think that's just like... Trust me, one of the screws that's took them has had a wage. And it's been going on in Walton for years and years and years. Years now. Think about the people who've been held in Walton. Think about the pull we've got outside and the dough. And then think about that Scouse screw that drinks in that booze around the corner. It's a no-brainer, isn't it? And it's been happening for years, mate. See you later, Jory boy. Didn't even know you were in, mate. Sorry about that. Mind Your Business was born by Aintree Aussie. But that sort of shit's been happening for fucking years, mate, at that Walton prison. Do you remember Richie Caswell tried to climb the wall? You know that kid that was convicted with the Cox brothers from Salford? Richie Caswell. He's also got 18 years time ago for an IED that was placed outside Tudor police station and exploded. He got 18 years for that. And then whilst he was in custody, he was having beef with the Muslim firm. Got had off by a couple of them in one jail. Landed in another jail. And when he's landed in the other jail, I think it was Long Line, one of the kids that had rushed him in the other jail is in this jail. So he's got him in the kitchen. Stole it on him in the kitchen. You know, the prisoner's kitchen on the wing. And the kid that he stole, the one that hurt him a few months before, is now in this kitchen. Caswell's gone in, bang, put him on the stove, so he's on fire on the stove. So he got another charge for that. But then he got out. Got his release, got out, didn't he? And then started mixing with just as usual people you meet in prison. Majority of the Salford kids that you meet in prison, you would have it with them all on the outside if you're into crime. And that's what he's done basically. He's linked up with the Salford firm, obviously through their affiliation to Pancake Taylor like that. Got out. Oh, hang on. When he was in Walton, He was just a normal Cat B prisoner, but he was on remand. And he must have thought he was getting, you know, double figures, 30 Rex or something like that. Because he's hatched the plot, hasn't he, to escape from Walton Prison. So at that time, he was mates with Turner, David Turner, and other people like Turner. And what they've done is, well, Turner, Glover, Pancakes, Biff, what they done, they went and got a cherry picker. You know, one of them machines, like zzz, and it goes, and they fix the lights in your street. They're called cherry pickers. You know when you see window cleaners cleaning like 4 floors up and you need a little crane type thing? They're called cherry pickers. So what his mates have done is knew where one of them was a cherry picker. Went and robbed it. Drove it at about 5 o'clock in the morning, 6 o'clock in the morning. The first gym session was at about 10 past 8 in the morning, like an early bird circuit or something like that. And he was going Richie. And when you go in the gym, you take little shortcuts, then you've got a little 5-minute window where there's no screws and you can vault a fence and get by the outer wall and grab your parcel and like this. So Dave drove this cherry picker to Hornby Road, which is the main road directly outside Walton Prison. Drove it onto the curb outside the prison, right against the wall. Erected cones, put yellow jackets on as if they're workers, and just sat there and waited. I don't think how game are they when you think about it. And what they've done, they've gone up with the cherry picker and had a big chain, you know, like a chain, big thick chain attached to the top, and thrown it over the wall. So now you've got this big chain from the cherry picker going over the oval and down the wall, and it's like heavy, you know, like not too heavy, but you know what a chain's like, don't you? A long one. So it's all plans go, everything seems to be working out for them, doesn't it? They've set it up right, it's all in position, everything's going. All they need now is Richie Caswell to stick to agreement. So they must have got called to the gym, they've gone. It started raining, unfortunately, it started raining. You know what a chain's like when it's wet, don't you? If you don't, you've probably never known. But when chains get wet, it's like oil. Majority of the time, chains are full of oil, so when they get wet, it's like... So he's bolted for the fences, hasn't he? They've called Jim, he's got that 5-minute window, bang, right on the wall, started climbing up chain. It's too wet. It's too wet, he got grabbed. Got grabbed, got cat A's off, and that's when prison kicked in, man. He's landed in the cat A's with madheads, you know, your Tobagos, your Ashtons, them type of like madheads. And he's just got on board with the Scousers who were having trouble with the Muslim brothers. And that's it, his jail was just horrendous for him. No. Were you not a cat A, Daz? No, mate. Didn't meet the criteria. They tried. You know, I got the documents where they applied to the government, you know, to the justice system, the Justice Department, the Ministry of Justice, the MOJ. They applied twice, mate. The second response, they got warned. We have notified you earlier on this year that he does not meet the criteria. So they got warned to stop applying to Cat Amy. Isn't that strange ways, lad? What's the name of the documentary you're in on Netflix? Don't think it's on there anymore, lad. Someone said it's not on there. But it's armed and dangerous. I don't know why they'd take it off unless it was legal purposes. Yes, no. You really do speak facts, your mind is open. Well, how do you know the facts, mate? Have you went and fact-checked them, Dale? How long have you been out now, Darren? 8 years. Physically. Psychologically, I'm not out, mate. Unfortunately, I haven't had the opportunity to come away from all that. Has anyone came after you since being out? No, lad. Being safe as sound, mate. How do you stay sane being in a cell all day? Depends how you handle it. You get balanced and then don't unbalance yourself by taking substances. RD420. The majority of people that can't do the jail is because they're on drugs, and they only can't do the jail when they haven't got the drugs. See Biz saying exercise. Did you train while you were inside? Yeah. Twice a day. Sometimes 3. Regardless, I was doing the circuit every morning when I woke up for years. Before my cell door was even open, mate. Yes, Jeffrey. John Smith. I had a release date. Got to prepare yourself for the wolves when you're released. I was going to war when I got out. That's what I was training for, and that's why they cut me down the way they did. I'm gonna let you out, mate, but you might. I'm glad they done it. Was you in HMP Wolves? I sure was, mate. I think I was in HMP Wolves for about... Was it Wolves? Yeah, that's where I got my tattoos on, actually, in Wolves. Off Stan. This tattoo. Yeah, so Wolves is where I got my tattoos done, mate. What was it? Yeah, Wolves it was, mate, yeah. Prison's just... And anyone that's sat in prison telling you it's nothing. They're just chatting shite, mate. How you finding it on the outside? I'm not. I don't mix. I don't. There's just no one to mix with, to be honest, if that makes sense. It's different for me, mate, in the sense of I sacrificed an old life to create a new one. And everything that existed in that old life was sacrificed with it. Foes, associates, family members, everything. Was it the right decision? I think it was. You know, I seen signs of disloyalty that shocked me, that. And that's why blood's thicker than water. But it doesn't mean fall, trust me. So is that a great regret, says Lol? I've got no regrets, mate. So why are you making a great one? You know what I regret, mate? My parents.
But that's not something I plan to make a habit of in this house. I'd like to begin.
And it's not an upset regret. It's just like, why did I end up with my ma and dad?